Hello, everyone. Welcome to another stream of the Panic Drop. Thank you for joining. We are here live because no other than Bitcoin is pumping, and it's important that we understand what's happening. Is it a fake pump? Is it something real? What does the Fourier cycle tell us? So, all these questions, we're gonna try to unpack them live as we just notice the pump going on. Just a second, because my daughter is saying something. Yeah. So sorry about that. I'm alone here with my daughter, so if she needs something, I'm gonna help her. But for now, we're good. So yeah, we're gonna unpack Bitcoin, check, of course, what it means within the 4 year cycle. So, first of all, Brooksy, thanks for joining. Skip Trace, Eva, Caroline, Toba, Bernard, Pragun, Adi, all welcome, of course. We have the AI Edge sale going on, 30% off Panic Drop. So, for those who are interested in joining, there is a sale going on, and I posted this in the morning blog where I basically explain what you get every month. There is a review of stocks, a review of how the stock market did, a review of all the altcoins moving every week, a review of how Bitcoin is moving based on on-chain data. I, of course, post every trade that I make in the chat that you are allowed in. Once you're a paid subscriber, you have full access of the pen and drop library, which is getting bigger, and also a gift that you get when you enter. It's an indicator that I made using Cloud Code, and I basically explain you how I made it, how you can make it yourself, and two indicators that you get um, that I use for trading Bitcoin with my AI agent. Maybe I can show it later on how it's performing right now. But first, let's get into the reason why we are seeing the price of Bitcoin going up. So I did post on my X account um, this in the morning. Bitcoin was still flat. So I'm not sure if you can see it. So here I basically retweeted the tweet from Financial Juice saying the US Treasury increasing size of liquidity support buyback operations for longer date nominal coupon securities. And this was sent out before the market even opened. So, in simple words, this is bullish. So, this is bullish for the stock market. This is bullish for risk on assets like Bitcoin because it helps push interest rates lower and removes some pressure from the markets. Um, just an easy breakdown. So, first of all, the government is buying more of its own long term bonds. So, the US Treasury is doubling how much it buys back of older long dated bonds. And when big buyers step in, bond prices go up and yields go down. So that's exactly what happened. Yields fell, and right after the announcement. The second point is that lower term interest rates are good for stocks. So companies can borrow more money, and way cheaper. So this is very good for growth stocks. So they will look a little bit more attractive because the future profits are worth more than when the rates are lower. And then there is an extra positive news in the mix, which is, of course, inflation data. Um, so we'll see how inflation will continue in the next months, because now, of course, there will be the debate whether there needs to be a rate hike or not. But we'll have to check the CME predictions if they are pricing in a cut, a hike, or a flat. So we'll need to see direction after how the market is responding. So here we are back to the charts. Of course, guys, if you have questions, do let me know. Hi, Christoph. Hi, right, the leaders. Welcome for joining. So if we look at Bitcoin, of course, we see a big move. It hit 69,600. So very impressive move. It's still up around 6% on the day, which is crazy. And we take the moving averages here. You can see that it's now testing the 200 moving average. So that's the daily 200 moving average. It tested that 200 moving average here in May, and then it got rejected. So this is a big resistance point that Bitcoin needs to reclaim, of course. So here you can see it didn't really get above the 200 moving average. Here we can see that it was slightly trading above it, but now it's trading below it. So will this be a rejection? That remains the question, of course. Looking at Ethereum, so I'm very excited. Finally, some movement in the crypto space. Is the first time in several weeks that we are seeing such a move. So Ethereum is above the 200 uh, daily moving average. So Ethereum currently way stronger than Bitcoin. We can see it on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. Here as well, trading above the 200 moving average, and of course still below this resistance, but ever since bottoming here, this was a big move. So those who swapped their Ethereum for Bitcoin at this level here, they did a good thing. Of course, Bitcoin is still up very well since the low here. So it's around 18% since the bottom. And I know we have been buying at 60K. So on those positions, we're up as well. My crypto position on eToro, so my public portfolio, has around 9 to 10% Bitcoin. So today is a good day for my portfolio. So, of course, Bitcoin is still far away from its all-time high compared to the stock market. It's trading near all-time highs, and Bitcoin still far away from its all-time highs, which is normal during a bear market, but it should make us careful as well. Why? One, we are here at the 200 moving average, could be a rejection. Two, the 4-year cycle could possibly still be ongoing, meaning that we still have a few months left where Bitcoin could have another leg lower. So, not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying it's something we should watch out for. So let's see if I can remove all these drawings from last time. So based on the 4-year cycle view, there is still some time left on the monthly chart. So we are now August, and the bottom would be somewhere in October. So very, very close, of course, to where the bottom is projected. We are very close to the end. Does that mean we continue higher from here, or are we going to get one last leg lower? It's a possibility. And that's why I said from the start. So I want to be positioned for Bitcoin. I want to have my allocation, but I want to keep some cash in case there is one leg lower. So when Bitcoin goes up, I have my allocation. I'm happy. Today, I'm very happy that my portfolio is going up. But I will have cash in case the Bitcoin price drops even more. What I'm watching on the monthly chart is this 10-month moving average. So we're still trading below it. As you can see, this purple line is the line where Bitcoin basically traded above and then the bull market started. But it's also the line where it can have a nasty rejection and a last drop lower. So I'm just staying open-minded for uh, two possibilities here. We'll see how these last 2-3 months unfold. Um, but hey, I am positioned for the next bull market with 10% allocation into crypto. So why not? If it breaks this 10-month moving average, I would be a little bit more convinced that the bottom is in and that we could see continuation of the bull market. Right now, there is still this window where I do have to stay cautious. So that's this window here. You can see that we can still form a bottom in this box. So yeah, February still possible. So um, I'm not sticking to October as a definitive month where we should bottom. 4-year cycles, we take them very roughly. They rhyme, but they're never exactly the same as before. So people will say, "Oh, it's 1 year later. It's October, so we have to bottom." No, the market can always surprise us and drag on for a few more months. But it is bullish that we are getting signs of, yeah, basically uh, getting more liquidity in the market. Good for tech stocks, good for crypto. Who knows? Good for altcoins. But if we look at the Bitcoin dominance, I had a peek just a few moments ago. You can see that Bitcoin dominance is actually going up against all the other altcoins. So what does this mean? So that could mean stable coins are getting sold off, or people are, yeah, preferring to put their dollars into Bitcoin right now than altcoins. So that's what we are seeing. And I don't know if you guys want me to check some of the altcoins because I haven't checked a lot lately, but the ones I'm monitoring is mainly Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is Ethereum really nice, back above 2000. So great to see. The only small altcoin that I have been following was Pump Fund, and yeah, it's actually right at resistance. So this is not really a valid trade setup, but we have been following this in the top altcoin playbook, stepping up actually really nicely. Uh, Roll bit. Let's see how this one is doing. Uh, yeah, not bad. So this one was on the list as well that I've been holding. So um, not as strong as Bitcoin today. It's down. So that's why I still think the best thing you can do right now, since we're not officially out of a bear market, uh, it's just better to hold Bitcoin and better hold Bitcoin or Ethereum. So those are like the two assets you can hold in your portfolio and sleep on without too many risks. So yeah, that's it for Bitcoin. Um, we have been tracking the S&P 500, trading near all-time highs. I actually bought um, some of the semiconductor sector and the Korean index, which dropped a lot. Um, when was it? Yesterday. And then I added to my portfolio this index because I do think there is more room for the AI play. I'm just thinking what other assets that I um, added to my portfolio. This one was mentioned in the chat few months ago. This was here when the biotech sector was breaking out here. So I took the breakout trade, sold, and then on the pullback I added again. And now we are seeing the biotech sector making new local highs, and I'm seeing it taking this high out. So I'm still in position for now. The reason why it is up is mainly because of another stock that went very well today. Not sure where I posted it. Yes, here. Moderna up 90% on a single day, which is, of course, a stock included in the biotech sector ETF. So that's the reason why biotech is always good. But I find biotech very hard to pick individual stocks. So I prefer to buy the index. And when you have a few doing really well, the whole index will get dragged up. Mm, so that's a little bit about some of the ETF positions. We have, of course, the Nasdaq still not trading near all-time highs. So the S&P made all-time highs, but the Nasdaq is still struggling to make all-time highs. And I do remember I posted about this in the chat. So by the way, if you want to grab it, there is a sale going on, the AI Edge sale. The goal is to make more content on AI as well. to see where the money is flowing. And when things are quiet in crypto, it's good to have stocks as well. So I'm doing some deep dives on some of the positions that I'm holding as well. So I did posted about this. So here you can see all the times the Nasdaq made a peak by month. So let's have a look. Nasdaq peaked in June. Is that correct? Yeah. So Nasdaq peaked in June, and you can see there was only one peak in June. And I think the data goes all the way back to 1983. So that's why I say it's a low probability that we will see the Nasdaq peak in June, meaning that before the end of the year, we will probably see new all-time highs for tech. So I'm personally adding on semiconductors, adding on technology, could be Meta, for example, which is uh, down a lot lately. So I know a lot of people don't trust Meta a lot because they're always in the news for now it's about yeah, they basically didn't had enough efforts to protect the young teenagers from their social platform, from Instagram, from Facebook. It was too addictive, and now they even said some younger people below 13 used Meta or Meta's products, and Meta didn't do enough efforts to prevent this. So now there's all these fines in the US, and it could spill into the EU. So not good, but these are fines, one-time fines. Once they pay them, it's over, um, and it's on to the next one. So it's not. It has nothing to do with the fundamentals. We know with earnings that Meta actually did really well. So revenue grew. We just know they're investing heavily in AI, uh, which is important to stay ahead. But uh, the price is below $600, which is a very low price if you think about it. It's a bit like how it was in 2022. So here, when Meta was trading below $100, currently Meta is trading below $600. And you know what happened then? Revenue expanded again, and it went from 900 to almost 750. So 7 times from the low in 2022, after they grew revenue and earnings. And I do believe that this is a similar story for Meta right now. Maybe we see uh, a takeout of this low or this low. But I'm basically, buying with high conviction that eventually we will see higher prices again. If you're not too sure, I mean, you can either buy the Nasdaq or the communication service index, which holds Meta, Google as a big allocation in the ETF. And that sector is actually very undervalued comparing with the S&P 500. So I'm just buying Google and Meta, to be honest. But if you want to be safe, the communication sector is the way to go, or the Nasdaq, which is the one I am buying. Um, There's a lot of AI stocks, of course, that are doing really well. Uh, One day you see AI stocks pumping a lot, and then the software stocks a lot, and then the other day you see the software stocks really pumping a lot, and then the AI stocks are dropping. We're at a very volatile market, and you shouldn't really focus on these daily swings. What you should do is try to understand like which stocks do you want to pick and hold in your portfolio. Do you keep it simple? Do you just buy the ETF knowing that eventually it will make new highs and you're pretty sure you're safe? Or are you gonna go a little bit higher in the risk curve, try to pick stocks? Then you should decide, okay, which stocks should I own in the portfolio? It's an important question because if you pick the wrong ones, your stock might continue to fall. And some people might say, wow, this stock is so cheap. I'm gonna buy it. And, how cheap can it more become? And that's the thing. Like cheap can get really, really cheap. Just like we see with altcoins, they can drop a lot, especially after a strong run up. So you have to be careful which ones you choose. So how I pick my stocks is basically based on earnings and also a little bit on technical analysis. So when I see the company doing really well, for example, Meta has great earnings and it's growing consistently, which makes it very predictable. That's what investors like. Although the price is now down, I know um, if the revenue keeps growing consistently into the next years, then eventually the price will pick up again. One of my favorite stock, for example, is Mastercard. So looking at earnings, um, they changed actually. Yeah. So looking at earnings, you can see Mastercard is very good at uh, earning higher revenue year after year, higher earnings year after year. So this is very predictable. So every time Mastercard um, drops very hard below its intrinsic value that I calculate, then I'm a buyer. So um, it goes down. There's a time to accumulate, and then before you know it, it's back uh, overvalued. And this happened in 1 month. So you have to be quick on those assets that you buy. And this is one stock that I cover every month. And I actively tell the chat that I'm buying. So you know exactly what to do. Cool, cool, cool. We have a question about XRP. By the way, Jack, hi. Gary, thanks for joining. If you guys have questions, I'm gonna stick around for a few more minutes after XRP. Maybe I'm off unless there is another question. So I know a lot of people are fanboys of XRP, and it was trading at $2, and I said if it's gonna break $2, then we're gonna see $1. And so far, that has uh, been exactly what's happening. So now the question is this the bottom? So XRP today up 6%, underperforming Bitcoin, so not impressive, but 6% is good. We do have this resistance right here. So this is the one it needs to get above. Sorry. that's some heavy resistance. I know Solana was looking a little bit stronger. So yeah, if it can reclaim this level, that will be a positive sign. I'm gonna have a lot to discuss tomorrow in the top altcoin playbook because that's where we cover all the altcoins every week. And I said I will add Solana if it can get above this resistance. So right right here actually. This is the resistance I was waiting for to get reclaimed. So still not there yet. Then it was BNB. BNB was doing better. So yeah, here we have it. BNB. Nice breakout, retest, and not up 6%. It's slightly underperforming Bitcoin, but the good part is it is above resistance. So this actually, the retest, that was a valid trade to be made. As long as it's above 605, the level I am watching, I'm bullish on BNB. So I would choose between BNB I would choose BNB over XRP and Solana right now. It's the stronger altcoin based on the chart. All right. You mentioned that you'll show us how you used AI to predict markets. Okay, so I mentioned how I use AI to create an indicator that tries to buy Bitcoin when there are big waves up. So that's what I created. And if you join the Panic Drop newsletter as a paid subscriber, this is also something I will give to you. All you have to do is subscribe and send me your TradingView username, and you will get the indicators that I created. Okay, so I have it here. So this is the Bitcoin squeeze indicator. Oh, I didn't even know, but it triggered a long trade. So my agent must have mentioned this to me, but I didn't even notice. So my agent is trading based on this indicator, and every time there is a long trade, it will automatically get into this position and trade Bitcoin. And this is done via Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid, as you know, is a platform where you can trade while they give you access to an API key. You can give that API key to your cloud code, where you basically say, here's my wallet, here is my API key. I want you to trade Bitcoin for me using this strategy. So in the modules, I explain, first of all, what is this strategy? So the Bitcoin squeeze indicator, what is it? Secondly, how do you use it? How do you trade based on it? You can do it manually as well. And then thirdly, how can you automate it? So how can my agent use this indicator for himself automatically? And those are like 3 modules that I created for anyone who wants it. You can either buy the course, it's $100, but the Panic Drop newsletter is $100 now with the discount. So you're better off just taking the Panic Drop newsletter plus getting the course as a gift. So that's like a super deal. if you ask me. Okay, so very simple, explain of course, but there's a lot going on in the background. I have my agent. This could be Cloud Code. This could be OpenClaw. I use Super Agent from Base 44. They are not free. I double checked because they changed the plans. But eToro has me on the builder plans, so that's why for me I'm using those agents. I can use as many agents as I want. So I tell my agent, here is the API key of Hyperliquid. Here is the strategy to follow, and then it's gonna work its way following the strategy, and every time there is a buy signal, it's buying. And when there is a sell signal, it's selling. So here, this last trade was still in profit, but it was a minor profit. What we want is to have these bigger swings. So ideally, want to have it here, of course, but it all depends on the momentum. This was a good one where it went long and then it sold way higher. And that's what I'm trying to catch with this indicator. So I'm curious, like I will need to update everyone how it's doing. So this strategy has triggered a long on 7th of August, so 12 days ago. It went a little bit lower, but remained above the stop loss. So yeah, um, cool. I wasn't even aware. I have currently so many agents working for me that I don't even know what they're doing. I have to find a way to gather all the information and send me alerts um, on what they're doing, and whenever it's important, they need to alert me. But yeah, um, that's about it, guys. I hope you found this useful. Again, for Bitcoin, not looking at this indicator, um, it is at the 200 moving average. So we'll see. Is it going to be a rejection or not? I am allocated for a pump. I'm happy if we bottomed here, but I still have some cash to drop lower. And the mindset here should be we want to see lower prices because eventually we know there will be a bull market again and we will see at least a test of all-time highs. And that is like a 100% gain on the money you invest here. So I'm not even worried about a drop. I just want to buy as low as possible. Um, I always have some orders ready at very low prices. You never know. We get a big liquidation event and those orders get filled. Um, but eventually, price will go higher. Bitcoin is here to stay. It doesn't care about regulations or Michael Saylor selling. Um, it has been here for many years, and it basically followed the same script every time. And right now we're at the end script of the bear market, very close. So we should start to mentally and also prepare the portfolio for the next bull market. And I am ready, nevertheless. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. And yeah, check out the sale. Bye.